Let's get into a story that's, really simple, but has such a powerful message. We're going to see just how a single, small act of kindness can forge this absolutely unbreakable bond.
So, let's start with a big question to kind of frame everything we're about to talk about. What really happens when one small, simple act of kindness runs right into a moment of pure, desperate need? Well, let's find out together.
Okay, so our story kicks off like a lot of great stories do, with an unexpected sound on a pretty dreary day. This is where it all begins.
So, picture this, a small, quiet village. And living there is a little girl named Ria. And the thing you need to know about Ria is that she just had a genuinely kind heart.
It was on this one particular rainy morning that everything changed. Through the sound of the rain, she heard it, a tiny, soft whimper, just barely there. So she follows the sound, and this is what she finds. Under a tree, there's this little puppy. And he's not just a stray. He's tiny. He's totally lost, shivering from the cold and just caked in mud. But the thing that really gets you, his eyes were just full of fear.
And this right here is the heart of the story. How do you go from that level of fear to a real, deep friendship? Well, it all boils down to care and compassion.
Think about this. The very first thing Rhea says to him isn't loud or bossy. It's just a simple, gentle whisper. Don't be scared. I'm here. Right away, a promise of safety.
And her actions, they completely backed up her words. She very gently picks him up, she gets a soft towel to dry him off, and then she gives him a bowl of warm milk. I mean, these are the most basic, fundamental things he needed in that moment.
And the result of all that care, it wasn't anything huge at first. It was just a tiny little tail starting to wag. Just a little bit. But that was everything. That was the first sign that fear was starting to lose its grip.
Then she gave him a name, Tommy. And with a name, he wasn't just a puppy anymore. He was her puppy. And from that day on, totally inseparable. They were constant companions.
But this new, happy routine is about to get a serious shakeup. And it leads to this one moment that shows just how deep their bond had become.
It all changed with a single sound. And this wasn't Tommy's normal playful bark. No, this was loud. It was sharp. It was urgent. It was an alarm bell. Ria rushes over to see what's going on, and there it is, the reason for the alarm. A snake, right by the door of the house.
So what does Tommy do? This little puppy, the same one who was once shivering in fear, he stands his ground, he puts himself right between Ria and that snake and just barks like crazy until the snake gives up and slithers away. He became her protector. And Ria's reaction? Just pure emotion, pure gratitude. She just hugs him and says, "You saved me." She realized that this little creature she rescued had just rescued her right back.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? The story doesn't just end with everyone being safe. It ends with this really profound lesson about how kindness actually works.
I mean, this slide just says it all, doesn't it? Look at that transformation. Before Ria came along, he was just a tiny lost puppy. But after her kindness, he became her best friend and her protector. That whole change was fueled by one thing, compassion.
And that's the lesson Ria learned that day. Something that would stick with her forever. You don't need these huge, dramatic gestures. Sometimes the smallest, simplest act of kindness is the seed for the biggest friendship you'll ever have.
You know, we could almost call it the friendship boomerang. It's this simple principle, right? The kindness and the care that you put out into the world, it doesn't just vanish. It has this incredible way of finding its way back to you, often when you need it the most.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. If kindness really is a boomerang, it makes you think, doesn't it? What will you choose to throw out into the world today?